Imagine playing in your backyard, surrounded by the calm of nature, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a predator leaps out of the bushes, its jaws clamping down with incredible force. You're just 3 years old, defenseless, and staring into the eyes of a jaguar, one of the most fearsome predators on Earth. For Jasmine Joseph, this nightmare was her reality. Mauled, dragged into the forest, and left fighting for her life. But what happened next is nothing short of miraculous. This is the story of survival that will leave you breathless. How a toddler took on the wild and lived to tell the tale. Welcome back to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where we explore the most jaw-dropping, heart-stopping and awe-inspiring stories of humans meeting wildlife up close and personal. From near-death escapes to incredible bonds with nature, we bring you tales that are savage, yet deeply human. Today, we dive into the harrowing and inspiring story of Jasmine Joseph, the little girl who survived not one but two Jaguar attacks. What she endured and how she fought back is a testament to human strength and resilience. Stick around as we unravel this gripping tale of survival. If stories like these captivate you, then make sure to show some love. Smash that like button and help us reach more wildlife enthusiasts just like you. Share this video with your friends and family, because who wouldn't want to hear about a toddler surviving the king of the jungle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What would you do if faced with a jaguar? We're dying to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, for more unbelievable stories from the wild. Hit that notifications bell so you never miss an upload. You'll want to be here when we drop our next incredible story. So sit back, relax, and get ready to immerse yourself in the untamed world of Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where every story reminds us that the wilderness doesn't just challenge us, it changes us. In the remote village of Isaneru, nestled deep in the lush rainforests of Region 7, life moves at its own unhurried pace. For 3-year-old Jasmine Joseph, her days were filled with innocent joy, laughter, and the kind of freedom that only comes from living close to nature. Her family's home, modest yet surrounded by an expanse of dense jungle, was both a sanctuary and a frontier, a place where humans and wildlife coexisted, sometimes uneasily. It was December 27th, 2013, a day like any other. Jasmine's grandmother, Agatha Joseph, had left the home early that morning around 7 a.m. to join a group of villagers for a church service and prayers. They were visiting homes across the river to pray for the sick, a community practice rooted in care and faith. Jasmine and her 2 siblings remained at home, entrusted to the care of their aunt. With her grandmother gone and the morning quiet settling in, Jasmine was outside in the yard, playing with an energy only a toddler could muster. The Joseph family's home sat on the edge of civilization. Beyond the immediate clearing were thick bushes and towering trees, a jungle alive with the sounds of birds, insects, and the occasional rustle of something much larger. Though the natural world provided beauty and sustenance, it also posed a silent, lurking danger. Jaguars, the apex predators of the South American rainforest, were known to roam the area, their golden coats blending seamlessly into the shadows of the underbrush. For the Joseph family, this wasn't their first encounter with the big cats. Just a month prior, Jasmine had been scratched on her leg by a jaguar that had ventured too close to their home. Her grandmother had acted swiftly, driving the animal away with sheer determination. While the jaguar had retreated that day, its presence lingered in their thoughts like a storm cloud on the horizon. They believed it had moved on, gone deeper into the forest, but in the wild, predators don't often give up their territory so easily. That morning, as Jasmine played just a few feet from the house, the jungle seemed peaceful. The sunlight filtered through the trees, casting dappled patterns on the ground. The occasional breeze rustled the leaves, and Jasmine, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger, busied herself with whatever game her young imagination had created. Inside the house, her uncle kept an ear out for her laughter, a comforting sound that echoed through the yard. The family was accustomed to the jungle's proximity and its occasional visitors, monkeys, birds, and even the rare jaguar sighting. But they had never anticipated the predator's return with such deadly intent. Unbeknownst to Jasmine, a pair of amber eyes watched her from the shadows, every muscle in the sleek, spotted body poised to strike. The jaguar, a creature of stealth and power, had likely been stalking the area for days, its instincts sharpened by hunger. It had already tested the boundaries of this human-occupied territory once before. Now it was back, emboldened and determined. As the minutes ticked by, the serene morning began to shift. A subtle tension crept into the air, unnoticed by the innocent child at play. Somewhere in the distance, a bird gave an abrupt warning call, its shrill cry breaking the jungle's harmony. The jaguar crouched low, its body perfectly still, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. And then it happened. In an instant, the tranquility of the yard was shattered. The silence turned to chaos as the jaguar lunged from its hiding place, its powerful form breaking through the bushes like a living nightmare. What followed was a fight for survival that would forever alter Jasmine's life. The jaguar burst forth from the dense underbrush with terrifying speed and precision, a blur of golden fur and dark rosettes. Its powerful hind legs launched it into the air, and before Jasmine could even turn to see what was coming, the predator's massive paws collided with her small frame, knocking her to the ground. The force was so great that the air was pushed from her lungs and she let out a piercing scream that shattered the quiet morning. Pinned beneath the jaguar's weight, Jasmine struggled helplessly, her tiny body no match for the animal's sheer strength. Its claws sank into her shoulders and back, holding her down as its jaws clamped around her skull with a crushing grip. The jaguar's teeth, designed to puncture the thick hides of prey, tore into her scalp and fractured her fragile skull. Blood began to pour from the wounds, soaking into the ground and matting her hair. The jaguar growled low and deep, a sound that reverberated through the jungle like a warning to anything that dared to come near. Jasmine screamed and thrashed, her cries of terror carrying through the forest and reaching the house. Inside, her uncle froze, his heart pounding as he recognized the sound for what it was, a cry of unimaginable pain. Without hesitation, he grabbed a cutlass and sprinted toward the yard, yelling at the top of his lungs to frighten whatever had attacked his niece. Meanwhile, the jaguar began to drag Jasmine toward the bushes, its powerful jaws gripping her head as it moved. To the predator, she was prey, a meal to be consumed far from the prying eyes of humans. Jasmine's tiny hands clawed at the ground, her survival instincts kicking in even as the jaguar's claws and teeth tore into her delicate skin. Her uncle arrived within seconds, his worst fears confirmed when he saw the jaguar dragging Jasmine into the undergrowth. Fueled by panic and rage, he charged toward the predator, waving the cutlass and shouting to scare it off. The jaguar, undeterred, held its ground, snarling and baring its teeth. Neighbors, alerted by Jasmine's screams and the commotion, quickly gathered. Armed with sticks, tools, and anything they could find, they joined the fight, encircling the jaguar and attempting to drive it away. One man threw a rock, hitting the predator squarely on its flank. The jaguar growled but refused to release its grip on Jasmine. Finally, her uncle seized the moment. With a powerful swing of his cutlass, he struck the jaguar, wounding it. The animal roared in pain and, realizing it was outnumbered, released Jasmine and tried to retreat. But the villagers were relentless. They continued their assault, eventually killing the jaguar to ensure it would never pose a threat again. As the jungle fell silent once more, the group turned their attention to Jasmine. She lay on the ground, her small body limp and blooded. Her face, scalp and torso were covered in deep lacerations, and the left side of her jaw was visibly fractured. Despite her horrifying injuries, she was still breathing, though barely. The villagers acted quickly. Workers from the Isaneru Health Center arrived to provide immediate care. They wrapped Jasmine's wounds to stem the bleeding and stabilized her as best they could, before rushing her to the nearest transport point. A boat carried her across the river, and from there, she was airlifted to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC. At the hospital, Jasmine's condition was critical. She was placed on life support and required a ventilator to breathe. The medical staff worked tirelessly to save her life, performing emergency surgery to address her fractured skull and implant a plate. Her scalp was sutured, her wounds cleaned and dressed, and her jaw stabilized. No one believed she would survive. Her grandmother, Agatha, was inconsolable, fearing that her beloved granddaughter would not make it through the night. But Jasmine, even in her fragile state, proved to be a fighter. Over the following weeks, her strength and will to live astonished everyone. Slowly, she began to recover, defying the odds stacked against her. The Jaguar's attack had left its mark, physically, emotionally, and in the form of a scar across her face. But Jasmine's spirit remained unbroken. The attack sent shockwaves through the Isaneru community. While Jaguar attacks on humans are rare, this incident underscored the unpredictable nature of life on the edge of the jungle. Villagers became more cautious, reinforcing their homes and keeping a closer watch on their children. The Jaguar's death was met with mixed emotions, relief that the immediate threat was gone, but also sadness for the loss of a creature that was as much a part of the rainforest as the trees themselves. For Jasmine and her family, life would never be the same. The scars she carried were a constant reminder of the day she came face to face with one of nature's most fearsome predators. Yet, they also told a story of survival, resilience, and the unbreakable bond of a community coming together to protect one of its own. As we wrap up this incredible and harrowing story of survival, we're left in awe of the resilience of little Jasmine Joseph. From the tranquil beauty of her village to the terrifying moments she spent in the jaws of a jaguar, her story reminds us of the raw power of nature and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. If this story moved you, amazed you, or left you on the edge of your seat, don't keep it to yourself. Show your support by hitting that like button. It really helps us continue bringing you these incredible tales. Share this video with your friends and family so they can witness this amazing story too. We want to hear your thoughts. What did this story teach you about survival and human-wildlife interactions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one of them. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, for more unforgettable stories from the wild, stories of courage, danger, and survival that will stay with you long after the video ends. Don't forget to ring that notifications bell so you never miss an upload. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for our next Savage Encounter. Thank you so much for watching, for your support, and for being part of this incredible community of wildlife enthusiasts. Until next time, remember, the wilderness challenges us, inspires us, and sometimes even changes us. Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where survival meets the savage.